Es un fenómeno extraordinario, es un fenómeno muy curioso, es un fenómeno que no hay que bajar la guardia en él, porque de otra manera, simplemente con lo que nuestros conocimientos tenemos es algo peligroso. De antemano, desde ese punto de vista, es primero asegurar la integridad, en mi caso como médico, asegurar la integridad física y de salud de la gente que vive ahí. Independientemente de cualquier otro término, es indispensable y necesario hacer una investigación para determinar si lo que está ocurriendo ahí afecta o no, o va a afectar a la larga a la gente que habita ahí, y considerarse un problema de salud pública. Si se determina que efectivamente hay una fuente de emisión, pero que esta energía no causa problemas, pasamos a un segundo plano, la investigación física, en planos distintos de otras disciplinas.
Very recently, another creature was recorded with a cellular phone in the state of Veracruz. First, according to the witness, one of these figures passed in front of them, and then he took the cell phone and was able to record this very thin with a big head walking in front of them. They clearly say it was an extraterrestrial. Unfortunately, the image, as we can see, is not very good. It's digitalized, but again, it proves that we are getting really near to a possible contact in Mexico. I believe we are now very near the next stage, and something very important is going to happen in the very near future. I have so much more to present you, but I think my time is over. Okay. Thank you. As you know, I have become very much involved in the investigation of this incredible phenomenon. This year we were expecting more new messages, and we found very spiritual messages this year. Messages that you would say are related to religions, to God. And I believe it's because now we are starting to see the real big changes that are going to happen in the near future, from now to the year 2012. Does that mean that the earth is going to be destroyed? I don't think so. I believe we are going to live a very big transformation. I believe what is going to happen in the US next year with the new elections is going to change the world in many ways. It's going to change the US, but it's also going to change everyone else. In Mexico, we are living a very difficult time at the moment. Politics is very convulsed. Just this week, the Congress declared invalid the Electoral Institute in my country, which is something that has no precedent. It's like a football player saying or expulsing the referee from the game. And this is what is happening in my country at this moment. We have terrorist actions, we have explosions, we have accidents, we have hurricanes in just a very few days. And this means that the change is really near.
Set up on his vehicle, which he brought through into the field down below.
I don't know if you heard about the case in Eastfield, but for the first time, some human beings were there when something happened. And this is Gary King and his girlfriend Paola, who saw literally a formation appearing in a field. And this formation is not any formation. It is related to the sound that you produce when you meditate.
He showed us, when we got here, he showed us an image intensifier device that he had, and we scanned across the field. It was like looking at the field in sort of daylight, you know, it brought in more light. And we scanned across Eastfield and across the field of rape here and the Drovers Road and this field of wheat here, and we could see that there was no formations in the field at that time. Then we sat here then just talking and overlooking the field until about 3 o'clock. Just after 3 o'clock we had a big white flash of light that completely encompassed the landscape and the sky. It was around that time that Wynne had to go down to his vehicle to change the tapes over. So he went down and done that and came back up to the hill. And at that point in the evening it was completely dark. What we were looking down on was a completely black field. We couldn't see anything at that point. About 20 minutes after that, as some of the light began to creep in from the east over there, we started to see a shadow of what looked like some sort of formation down below, but it was still too imperceptible really for the naked eye to see. So Wynne got up and looked through his camera, which has an image enhancing kind of capability, and through the lens of the camera we could clearly see this formation that was laid out here in the field before us. So at the point of seeing that on that camera and the point of realising that this may be something that people might sit up and take notice finally, I was just jumping for joy, and I still am.
I was very excited, but I was in a bit of shock as well. Gary was dancing around and I was sort of jigging. Well, I was, you know, just
Is this real?
amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm going to run this fast, excuse me, to go to the last thing I want to present you. These are some of the formations that appeared this year. I believe it was an exceptional year in many ways, and we were expecting something as usual